got my number figured out. A motive born in drought and brevity. And if I'm not the soul of your design, I blatantly decline your remedy. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine. I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. Wasn't always just a single shade, a palette full of gray in reverie. And I can burn it brighter than the sun. I have a golden gun inside of me. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine. I'd rather be pretty much anything else. And if I fall behind, ignoring all the signs, if I lose the fight, I still rage against the night. Don't box I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine. I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. Have I become a little too shy for love? I've been hurt before. All's fair in love and war. So I'll snuggle up close to the shell I'm living in. And if I let you in, another round begins. No, I'm spinning in a vicious cycle. I'm scared of doing something I'll regret. Maybe this is right, but I'm still staring at your silhouette. What if you're everything I need? A fire in my heart, the air I breathe. What if I'm incomplete without you by my side? What if I go against my heart instead of confessing from the start? What if I miss out on the life meant for us? I need you by my side.
Should I be scared? The feeling's so different now. You got me floating here, a feather in the air. Oh, but when the wind blows, will I tumble or sail away? Or would you have me stay? And what if I escape? I know
I'm spinning in a vicious cycle. I'm scared of doing something I'll regret. Maybe this is right, but I'm still staring at your silhouette. But what if you're everything if you're everything I need? A fire in my heart, the air I breathe. What if I'm incomplete without you by my side? And what if I go against my heart instead of confessing from the start? What if I miss out on the life meant for us? I need you by my side. I need you by my side. I need you by my side.
There once was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was the Billy O.T. The winds blew hard, her bow dipped down. Below me, bully boys blow. Soon may the wellermen come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. She'd not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her a right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow. Soon may the wellermen come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Before the boat had hit the water, the whale's tail came up and caught her. All hands to the side harpooned and fought her when she dived down low. Soon may the wellermen come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. No line was cut, no whale was freed. The captain's mind was not on greed, but he belonged to the whaleman's creed. She took that ship in tow. Soon may the wellermen come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. For 40 days or even more, the line went slack, then tight once more. Our boats were lost, there were only 4, and still that whale did go. Soon may the wellermen come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. As far as I've heard, the fight's still on. The line's not cut and the whale's not gone. The wellerman makes his regular call to encourage the captain, crew, and all. Soon may...
Oh, Miria, what is happening?
Hey.
It is Tuesday. We are here. Yeah, hello. Yeah, good to see you again, Matt. We are here for that very special segment that we like to call "Okay, Seriously," and the place where you ask questions and we give answers. So, as usual, joining us is Green Pants. Green Pants, thank you for being. Good to see you as always.
Thank you for having me, Vanguard. As always, it's a great pleasure. I always appreciate being asked back each week. It's a surprise, but it's something that I enjoy fondly, and mainly because it makes me feel good inside.
I am warmed and touched to hear
Thanks.
that. So
Yeah.
So, for those who don't know how this works, we're going to have 5 questions that we're going to go today, submitted by our viewers, and we're going to read the question out, and we're going to talk about it and answer each one. To give some useful advice, we'll attach our standard disclaimer that we are not trained professionals in any way, shape, or form for anything we'll be answering tonight. Opinions are just that. So...
Yep. Not no qualifications, but very strong opinions, and completely willing to share them. So, you have questions, we can give honest answers, whether or not they're practical or even realistic. I can't tell you, but I'll tell you something.
I'll tell you something. So let's dive in. So here we go. So our first question comes from Abigail from Scratch Ankle, Alabama. Abigail asks, I'm a single woman dating in my 30s, and the experience has been nothing short of a complete shit show. I just turned 33. I have no idea where to find a good quality man who's looking for a long-term relationship with the potential of marriage. I'm looking to start a family within the next 5 years, so I'd really like to find someone soon because I really don't want to have to freeze my fucking eggs. Any ideas of where to look, or maybe just some general advice? Asks Abigail. Wow. Okay, what's your take on this?
Oh. Hey, I actually feel a little tiny bit qualified to address this question because I too was once a single human being dating in their 30s, and this was before Tinder, Stir, Grindr, Bumble, Hinge, Plenty of Fish, Coffee Meets Bagel, Boo, Ashley Madison,
Whoa!
Pure, Silver Singles, Christian Mingle, Chispa,
J-Date.
Badu, Raya.
J-Date.
There's a lot. I mean, when when Mrs. Greenpants and I got together, it was just Match and eHarmony, which was just a Christian dating site in disguise. So I can empathize with was this Abigail? What's
Abigail, yeah.
Abigail, yeah. I can empathize with you as a man. As a group, we're fucking awful. Like we're like objectively terrible, like as a group in general. But so as someone who actually is married to a woman, the bar isn't as insurmountable as you might think, because clearly I made it over. We are out there. And do you have hobbies like that? Like, before a match came along,
are you interesting in any way? It's a question.
Well, like, is there anyone that you can be arranged to be married with? Because before the internet, every marriage was arranged. I believe
they don't do that anymore. Not a thing. Maybe in India.
They do in India.
Not too much as it used to be.
They absolutely do in India.
It's not.
It's not as
widespread as it was.
Yes. Well, it's
They've
also
come along.
the couples are given a lot more agency in the process of who they want to marry,
right.
And getting to know them.
They're
It's
allowed
not just
to meet before the wedding day, for example, and see if they
exactly.
like each other.
Right.
Small things, little
if there's
tidbits.
Any chemistry whatsoever between them.
Right.
But yeah, no, I would say definitely not going to bars, but and if you can't do an arranged marriage, but do a sport or an activity or whatever, because like you can do like-minded, like at least you'll be like-minded in one way. Like if you do bass fishing, I mean, sure, you're going to meet assholes, but you'll meet other assholes that like bass fishing, if you like bass fishing.
That's
or whatever, that's your thing. I don't know.
Or
What do you think?
NASCAR. Well, I think Abigail here is your priorities, and I'm normally not critical like this, but this one nags me a little bit. That your priorities are a little messed up, Abigail. So to me it sounds like you're looking for a man so you can have a kid. That's a horrible reason to get married and to be in a relationship.
Oh, that is.
So that, you know what I mean? So that's the angle.
I'm looking to start a family in the next.
Yes. So in her mind, the priority is family, not, hey, I found a life partner that I would love to spend the rest of my life with. If you want, if you want a kid, go to a sperm bank. If you want a husband, meet somebody who moves you, who loves you, who will cherish you, who you cherish, who you have this connection with, who you want to spend the rest of your life with, and all that stuff. These are separate events.
Right.
And it's
and
with that person you
then
may decide to have a child, but you've got this timetable, and I get biology's biology, I get it, right? But if you really feel the need to have a child at this point in time, just go to a sperm bank. You don't need a dude, right?
Well, I would say it's unclear from Abigail's because she does say that she's looking for the potential of marriage,
sure.
And she's looking to start a family within the next 5 years.
Yes.
Those can be distinct things, and she's basically saying like she's in a position where she wants to be doing these things and she doesn't see any prospects for anything. So I'm a little bit more then yeah, I think the freeze my fucking eggs was more of like a cry of desperation, of just like, man, more of a joke, I think, than saying like, no, I need to chronologically freeze my eggs because I absolutely need to have a child.
Maybe. All right, you're giving her the benefit of the doubt. I respect that, but I just want to make that clear. Like, Abigail, just be sure about your priorities are. And a life partner is not a means
I can
to
tell
an
you.
end. Yes.
What I can tell you is in vitro fertilization.
Oh.
That was. Did you see that it was the Supreme? I believe it was Alabama. The Supreme Court ruled that embryos are kids. Like fertilized embryos, like for IVF, they're children. So you can't. So if you destroy one,
you can still freeze your eggs.
Right, but you can't. But the only way that you can do anything with that is to have an embryo and have sperm put in it, and there's going to be ones that are non-viable,
Oh, I see
and
what
they're
you're
basically saying like that you can't do that anymore.
Well, I
Which
would not
basically means
do that
you're not
in
going to be able
Alabama.
to do it.
Yeah.
Right, but it's sort of, but it's sort of.
I would not do those in Alabama. Not advised.
So, what you could do, Abigail, is get involved in a group that helps Alabama have laws like normal states,
Right.
such as not even questioning whether or not freezing your eggs would be a problem.
Right.
That could be a motivating thing, and then you can meet a quality guy that way, because you can meet another quality guy who also thinks you should be able to freeze your fucking eggs. And you know what? Just on the subject of freezing your fucking eggs, you no longer have to freeze your eggs because you got freezing your egg guy.
There you go.
I
That
think
could be-
I
that
solved
could
your
be
problem for you.
It could be the ties that bind.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, it's, or you could get really drunk, go to a bar, take home the first guy that you see, and
Have him knock you up.
stay with him forever.
Or stay
yeah.
with him forever. I'm sure it'll work out if that's what you do.
No matter what.
Right. Don't look for a guy as this means to an end. If you find someone, you find someone.
Yeah.
Right. But I think Green Pants'
Right.
advice were good. Like, do things that you'll find people that are interested in things you're interested in. I did the dating site for a while too. The dating site thing. I met some very nice people. Nothing that stuck clearly, but
Yeah.
because Mrs. Vanguard is not a result of that. But you can meet
Mrs.
very
Green
nice
Pants
people.
is.
Mrs. That's right. I remember that.
Yeah.
That's right.
Match,
See?
Match.com.
It can
Yeah.
happen.
Vanguard actually helped me meet Mrs. Greenpants, and so that was helpful.
that
or
is
not
true.
you helped me develop my profile.
Yes,
and
yes, I helped
there
you with
were-
profile.
there were portions.
I took
there
a
are-
hot, I
there
took
are
a
very
hot picture
specific-
of you. Is what happened. That
Well,
sealed
there's
the
that.
deal.
That's a huge one. That was very key. But Shauna has many distinct things about me that she has pulled from my bio that were specifically like recommended by you.
Got
That
it.
you were like, yeah, you got to do this. You put
Got
this
it.
in, and I was like, okay.
Got it.
And you're like, oh yeah, no, you need that. Like, so
I did get pretty good at the profile thing. So this is if anyone wants to run their profile by us, that would be a fun thing actually if we did a segment on that. Send us your dating
Yeah.
profile and we will evaluate it for you.
yeah, and that there's actually data that is I think is really depressing about dating sites. Like if you're a guy, if you're a guy, the more books that you have, like, or if people who the more books that you say that you like, the less people are interested in you.
Right.
If you're a reader.
I think you're snobby.
Like, which I thought was interesting. Yeah, maybe, or whatever, or maybe they're like, oh, they're too smart or something. I don't know.
Oh, maybe
because
that's weird.
there's people that really like my sister's a good example of someone who like she's does not like to read books. I mean, she doesn't give a shit that her husband does, but
Not a thing.
if on a dating site, I don't know.
Would match, right?
But,
I matched with someone once and we were chatting and the topic of what you read comes up and I said, well, I like a lot of fantasy, He's like, oh,
Yeah.
why? It was literally like that.
Right.
And then I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, now I got to know what
Oh, you're a dork.
tell me what you read.
Right.
And then we'll have a conversation, right? I can tell you it's not
Is it romance? Is it
right.
Twilight?
Right. I
Do
can
you
tell
read
it's not-
Twilight?
I
Is
can
it Harry Potter?
I can tell you it's not. No, Harry Potter's fantasy at least. You know what I mean?
I mean, right. Right.
So yeah, I can tell what you think is highbrow is not, and I can tell you exactly why it isn't. But she was not willing to have that conversation because she didn't want a role system challenge. So we were clearly not a match.
Right.
That's fine.
And you hold no resentment with this woman.
I'm a little bitter about it still,
and
actually.
This is not something that you.
She's fucking judging me, man. That's the thing that bugged me. Judge me.
Dude, I went on one at Match where the girl, the woman, whatever, was like, "Yeah, you're too short. I thought it might work, but you're too short."
Oh sure, okay.
And she, yeah,
At
it
least
was
she
just sort
honest.
of, but it was like,
At least she was honest.
yeah,
Legit. I want a
Right.
big dude that could throw me around. Okay, got it. Done. Right. That's.
but it's like, yeah, but it's like she thought I'd be tall enough, but it was like, no, the way this is this height thing. I was just kind of
Okay.
like, okay,
That's okay.
odd, but sure.
I
And
dated
we
a
had
girl
dinner.
too that was
And we
quite
get-
that was quite tall, and she wanted a taller guy, and that's fine.
Mhm.
No. But
Yeah, I get
where
it.
are we going with this? Oh, right, Abigail. So Abigail, like again, please don't use a guy as a means to an end, right? That you want this like scenario that's in your head, and you got to take a guy that seems good enough, and that's the recipe for divorce. I guarantee you. right? A miserable
Right.
marriage after 7 years, and then a divorce. You don't want that. So do things that you find interesting. Go on the dating sites. Meet nice people. Find someone that like actually like has an emotional impact on you, and actually you are get all head over heels on. See where that relationship goes. Marry that person, great. Hopefully, we wish you all the luck, right? If you're concerned about, because we understand the biological limitations as well. If you have to freeze your eggs, you freeze your eggs. I mean, if you want a kid, if you really want a kid right now, just have the kid. Have the kid. Single moms, it's a thing. It happens, right?
Right. But well, it's not as easy as just have the kid. You
Well,
need
I
to
know there's
find
and they're
someone that you're going to have the kid
expensive
with.
and-
Yeah.
Well, no, you got
Yes,
sperm bank.
and
You got
there's
sperm
lots.
bank.
Yeah.
Get sperm bank. Then you go through a catalog,
True,
pick the
but
traits you want, right? It's like
But it is,
a la carte.
and we have friends that have gone through that. But it is an extensive process and an expensive one. You know.
it is.
So
It is
Yeah.
a process. So it depends on your financial situation as well. But there's our advice.
Yeah.
For what it's worth. There are good guys out there, so fear not. You're just not looking in the right places. Here's another thing. Last thing I'll say about this: the type of guy you think you're attracted to is probably not the guy you should be dating. Because the guy you're probably attracted to is probably the arrogant, dickish type. I see this as a common theme with a lot of people I know.
yeah,
Don't date that guy.
I don't know a lot of people, so I don't
There
really.
you go.
Yeah.
Date not that
I-
guy.
I
That's
mean,
that's part of your problem, I think.
Since last week, I haven't moved. Actually, I'm
You've
still
been in
just
that
right
seat
here.
since we last spoke to you? No, that's what I was gonna.
Yeah,
ask you
yeah,
that,
yeah,
so-
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. So I had.
My God, smell. Let's be there.
But you're not wrong.
All right, Abigail. So that's what it's worth. Hey, keep us updated a little.
Yeah.
Let us know how it goes. Let us know how the
Yeah,
dating
I want to
goes.
hear if that. I want to hear that if that's. I want to hear I want to hear follow up from Abigail.
Yes.
If, what
And
happens,
like I
so.
said, we are willing to review your dating profile if you wish to share it. Go from there.
Absolutely.
And you know what? Share your dating profile. Here's my challenge to you: share your dating profile and give a description of the type of guy you're typically into, and we'll tell you what your problem is. That's all out there.
Vanguard will tell you what your problem is.
Well, I'll tell you why you're wrong. What kind
Yeah.
of guy you should be dating?
Vanguard feels very strongly about this issue.
I
Apparently.
do. I've just seen it so much. It's
I do
like, It's so painful.
I've been away from the scene for quite a while. I was when I saw that it was like this app is one of the top 20 apps on Android phones. So top 20 dating app
Yeah.
on Android phones. So you mean there's 19 other
They're
dating,
dating
apps,
apps,
higher
right.
ranked for Android specifically.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh, it's a whole thing.
and then there's ones like Muzz, just for Muslims.
Yeah, no,
Which
I
is
hear
sort
you.
of funny.
Yeah,
There's-
very
And there's
specific topic.
Pure. Yeah. And Pure, which I originally had thought was like, oh, you're looking for someone pure, but it's purely sex, is what it means.
Oh, I thought that was called Tinder.
it means
I'm confused.
that is too. No,
Okay.
there's Tinder and Grinder, but Pure is another site that's like for casual hookups. Like that's
Got
what it is.
If that's your thing, go
It
for
is.
it. I mean, there's nothing wrong
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
It's like
Right.
great. You know, the one thing I
Right.
wish I did before going to next one is it only became like sort of more mainstream and prevalent when I was off the dating scene was the whole speed dating thing. Like you go on 10 dates in like an hour, you
Oh.
like hop between the tables. You go
Oh
to a bar,
yeah,
something
I
like
never
that.
did that.
I think that would have been fun. I think that's kind of like that would have been like my groove. That would have been a fun thing.
I think that it's hard to put myself back in that situation, but
Yeah.
like I think that would have been an opportunity for tomfoolery
Yes.
and shenanigans.
And hilarity,
I think.
perhaps.
Really, I don't know. Like
The jokes write themselves.
Not sure
I
exactly
think is
what
it would
I
be.
was, especially if that was, during the height of my alcoholism. I could, I bet you, it could have gone, in a lot of different ways.
It could
You
have.
know, so,
Could have, never know. Could have wound up with someone you never would have normally. All right, moving on.
all right,
This
moving
next
on.
question is from Sophia from Enigma, Georgia. Sophia says, I'm a junior in college. My favorite teacher died recently. Sorry to hear that, Sophia. It has really affected me as she was an amazing person. My boyfriend asked to come over to comfort me as I was talking about how much my teacher meant to me. He started laughing, saying it was like a meme in his head. She wasn't able to correct our last exam anymore. Started crying and was shocked at his insensitive reaction. As I started crying more, he continued laughing and found it even more funny. This red flag too red. Should I somehow get over this and accept I can never share anything upsetting with him? Sophia from Enigma, Georgia.
Well, see, didn't I tell you that all of us were assholes? Like before, like when Abigail, I was like, look, the guys assholes. Like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, Abigail, this kind
yeah,
of guy.
that's
This is the kind of guy Abigail likes. Abigail, don't get this kind of guy. Just to be clear.
it is absolutely a terrible response, of course.
Yes.
I do have to ask, did he die in an especially humorous way?
She.
Because or did she die in an especially sort of
Right.
like or did she die like in an adorable way, like, you know, covered in tuna and then like thrown into a pit of kittens? um but what I think would be
Or like on the toilet or something. Like
the-
one of those other embarrassing ways to die. that
well,
you
what
want.
I think would be no, okay, yeah, there was like the guy who had the record for the longest beard and died by tripping over his beard.
Right.
And he basically got concussed.
Does
and,
that
and
technically
died.
count
Or
as ironic? I know the definition of irony, right?
Yes.
Careful about what you define as
I
irony.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay. Either way, it's hilarious and embarrassing, you know, for that guy. Whether or not it's technically fits the MLA definition of irony as for the English language. You know,
Yes.
there others are to say, but Jack Daniels, the whiskey guy, basically he died because he forgot the combination to his safe, and so he kicked it, and then his toe got infected, and he died.
I
And
didn't
that's
know
how
that story.
Jack Daniels died. Yeah,
Did
that
not
is
know
how
that
he
story.
died.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's embarrassing.
So, yeah, I think,
Embarrassing.
yeah, the guy who headed the Pinkerton Detective Agency, it was something similar like that, where it was like something small that he just let go and just, yeah.
A lot of bad ways to die.
But,
So anyway,
but yeah, no,
regardless,
I think,
this boyfriend.
I mean,
being very
regardless,
sensitive.
red flag, yeah, two red probably. I mean, regardless of what it was, I think, yeah, I probably not a good fit for you, you know.
You're also. I was gonna go. You're a junior in college, which means you're what, 20, 19 or 20.
Yeah, I mean, he's
So,
quite. I mean,
and if he's a junior too, assuming same age, right? Men are typically 5 years behind in maturity.
oh, that's true.
So
They
you're
are
talking a guy with
oh my
essentially
God.
the maturity of a 15-year-old. So you're kind of dating a child, essentially, emotionally speaking.
Right, and especially if
You know?
that child is hammered, like,
Right.
or is having
Or
like,
frat
you know,
boy, or,
yes,
you know, like-
okay, right, yeah. This question may have nuance. If this is if this was someone who was in their 30s, you know, you'd be like, really, you know, because it's like a person that should have that emotional intelligence.
You're
But
freaking
yes,
grown
when you
up.
are talking about frat boy, it's still, you know, not a great look for that guy. But
Right.
I wouldn't necessarily say that you have to accept that you can never share anything with him because,
Right.
as said, he is
Yeah.
essentially a child.
Right. I think that Sophia, when you date your peer group at this age, you have to what you get for the most part. You know what I mean? So this
You
is
gotta
not
do a
like-
little. Let something slide. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know, because you're dealing with not a fully formed male brain yet. You know, it's not a thing. So, but yeah, I mean, if you know, you look at the other aspects of the relationship, right? Like, is he good to you? Do you guys enjoy each other? Do you laugh together? You know, is the sex good? Is he good company? Does he respect you and your friends? You know what I mean? Like, those things are on the plus column. You know, maybe it's okay. Probably not gonna marry this guy. You know, so
Right. Exactly.
take it for what it is. You know, relationship.
Yeah. But yeah, it is a pretty red flag. Whether or not it's too red, that's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, and again, he's 20. Take that for what it's worth. 19.
yeah,
Not when us men are at
Again.
our emotional prime. Say.
not generally. Not generally. You know, I think we were probably quite funny, and maybe, you know.
I think
but,
we were hysterical.
perhaps-
Personally, you and I were
There-
hysterical when we were 20.
Well, absolutely, and I believe that if it was us, the woman died in a very humorous way. That was too humorous to not
Right.
comment on.
But I would say
But-
even 20-year me would not react to this way. I might ask
Oh, that
if
is
she died
true.
in a humorous
20
way.
no,
I might ask how did she
Right.
die, and then
Right.
she said, "Oh,
Right.
she got her head stuck in a you know, I don't know, something like a I don't know, like a kibble make something, I
Right.
don't know, right?" And I'd be like, "Holy crap, that's kind of funny. That's horrible, but
right,
you gotta
right.
at least look at the funniness of that, you know." I might say
Right.
that, but I wouldn't like openly mock that you're pain, right? I mean,
Right.
openly like mock that you're pain, right? I mean,
Yeah, like 20-year-old me definitely would have put pants on and listened.
yes, yes,
You know,
and not tried to while
and been
you're
like, oh, okay,
mourning,
like
right?
yeah, right.
We're horrible. Men in general are pretty horrible.
I'm 20. I mean, you know,
20, that's the thing, right?
so yeah,
Oh my goodness. All
right.
right. So Sophia, there you
Moving
go.
on.
Red flag. If you're thinking of this as like a serious, your serious long-term relationship that you might marry this guy, don't. If it's the okay for now relationship, roll with it and just keep this in mind, right? Maybe he'll grow up, maybe he won't. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Again, this is a college relationship. You know,
Right.
I had several. We all had several. You know, or many
not
of us
all
have
of
had
us.
several, and
I
so
know some
don't.
of us had several.
Right. Okay.
Sore spot.
Some people had. I I had
Must be nice.
a couple. But
Yes.
what's the next question?
Right. Let's go to the next question.
Who we could
Okay.
get?
Here we
Come
go.
on,
I am a 26.
Slide that scroll bar on down.
I am a 26-year-old male. I've come to realize that the only women who show signs of attraction towards me are usually older women or younger women. By older, I mean early 30s, 40s. I found these women are usually the most receptive to my flirting. The younger women are between 18 and 20. I hardly receive any signs from women my own age. I have been told a few times by coworkers and college classmates they thought I was still a teenager. Maybe that could explain why younger women are interested, but the older women, though, I'm not so sure. I don't want to rely on just my own thoughts, so I thought it'd be good to ask for a different perspective on this. Why is this happening to me? Chadwick from Tuxedo. Chadwick.
Chad, can I call you
Can we call you
Chad?
Chad?
Yes.
I was just gonna ask that. I like to call
Yeah,
you Chad.
I'm just gonna call you. Yeah, good. Yeah. The answer is you are what is called a cougar magnet.
Right.
So, you're as a teen, if you look younger, and it is actually like a great, it's a great quality to have. What's happening is that you look younger, so so people who are 18 to 20, your peers are attracted to you because they think you are
You
their
look
peer.
younger. Right.
The older women are attracted to you because you're a cougar magnet. So I mean, the ladies of Wisteria Lane are definitely, peeking behind the curtains and watching you wash that car shirtless, or whatever. I'm not sure what, but other than the hassle of like getting carded a lot, like it's really kind of a win-win. I think.
I personally don't see the problem
Hey,
here either.
Right. Yeah. No, I don't.
Oh, you're
Like,
26
I mean,
and
if you
18 to
want
20-year-olds want to date you? Yes.
Yes.
Like,
Wonderful for you.
do that.
Again,
That's
yes.
the
Let's talk
problem.
about his lack of problems when we're talking about someone dating. Moving on to
Deflection there.
Chad doesn't have any problems.
Chad's got no problems.
No, Chad could establish a career as a gigolo. I mean, hey, my own mother has one, and she's nearly 80.
Yeah.
Well, in my mom's case, the teenager is a 50-year-old man, but the math works out the same, So, guy does absolutely nothing but live off my mom, and he is there to just be there, and
Right.
so he gets free rent, and the only thing it really costs him is knowing that there is the rage of 1,000 million suns out there to murder him from me, but he doesn't really care about that. So as far as he's concerned,
No.
he's not worried about a murderous rage. And he probably shouldn't be because, I got kids. But
Yeah.
that is nothing to live off my mom.
Yeah, for sure.
And I got it. And he gets half the house. So
Right. And
it's,
really like if you're if you're a flirt, right? And if you're kind of funny, and have that boyish kind of attractiveness to you, that's very appealing to older women, actually. Very appealing. So
yeah,
it's natural.
and younger
for-
women
Right. It's natural
Women.
the older women touch it. Women.
in general. You can just say women in general. Yeah,
Right. Right.
it's like
But that's the thing, like girls your age
Um,
probably look at you and you probably maybe have like a baby face or something, which I've seen guys that kind of have that very youngish looking features
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah,
like that. So that might be a turn off to them. Maybe they're at the age, if you're 26, yeah, they're thinking like long term material. They're like, oh my god, this guy's a kid, and they're looking for an older
Right.
man, that kind of thing, right? So, so that's it. So I would enjoy your boyish good looks, honestly. And,
yeah. You don't
date
have a
around.
problem. Yeah, I don't
You
see
don't
it with
have a problem.
Yeah, I don't think he was looking for advice. I don't think he really necessarily thought he had a problem. I think he was more like, "Why is this?"
Oh,
Wasn't it?
and
I mean,
that's why.
didn't.
You probably have a baby
Yeah.
face. You
So
look
this is
young.
why. Yeah.
Right. You look young, so therefore you look like you're in the peer group of 18 to 20-year-olds, and
Yeah.
those
Exactly.
other aspects and characteristics of you make you appealing to older women as well. Right. So
Right. As I said,
that's
cougar
why.
magnet. Yeah,
Cougar magnet,
absolutely.
right. That's a good. Great
And
word.
yeah, like, is your shirt off a lot in public? Like that would be like if the answer to that is yes, then yeah, that's probably.
And if you're a
that's probably
flirt,
the
older
reason.
women love attention. I mean, women in general kind of. Well,
Yeah, absolutely.
Younger women are a little more resistant to attention because they think guys are always coming on to them. Probably true, right?
Right.
At that age group.
Yeah, no,
Well,
my mom would have done it at any age. Right. Yeah, but but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there you go.
you know, yeah, I think, yeah, man, live your life. You know, you got like, this guy's living his fucking dreams. I think that's great. You know, I mean, it's like, oh, I have too much of a selection of ladies to choose from.
Oh,
What should I
no.
do? Should I be worried about it? What could I do? For
Oh,
some reason,
Reginald,
younger ones like me
How
and
should I deal
older
with this
ones like me.
situation?
I
I have quite the
Chad,
quandary, Reginald. What shall I do ever?
yeah, yeah, okay. If all we could have is problems, but you
Oh
know,
my God.
so
We do sympathize, Chad, but we explain the reasons. Enjoy the situation. That's the best we have to say to you. Yes.
I don't sympathize, but I empathize, I suppose, in a
Empathize.
way.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good for Chad.
Sympathize is definitely the wrong word for a dude who's like too many ladies like me. Like, yeah, I do not have any sympathy for that man. Because that is objectionably ridiculous. Like, oh man, oh, do all the girls like you? Yeah, they call me and they all want to have sex with me, and it's like
Right.
I can't fit them all in. Yeah, no sympathy.
I had that. That reminds me of a story. I was talking to a dude. And he was a dance teacher actually, and he was a very good looking guy. And we were having like one of those frank conversations. He's telling me, he's like, yeah, like when you're in that situation where like a girl's really like when a girl like comes on to you super strong and you're just not really that into her and da 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 da. And I'm looking at him like, no, I don't have any idea what the fuck you're talking about. That was literally never happened to me. But I'm sorry you're in such a plight. You know what I mean? You're in such a
That's funny.
Yeah.
Like, you know when you come out of the locker room and the girls just like follow you around and they follow
Right.
you out to your car?
like,
No, what?
Who knows that? Right? Not normal men.
Are you a pop idol? I don't.
Right?
Like
You look
oh,
like
you're
Justin Bieber? Like, right?
Like,
both
oh,
Justin
you
Bieber.
are Justin Bieber.
Too
Oh,
funny.
that's probably why. It's because you're Justin Bieber. That's oh really okay.
Gotta be. Although I gotta tell you, man, girls that get obsessed about famous guys, it's almost uncanny. Like, because I don't think guys have that
Yeah.
same obsession with famous women, right? Like, I think we appreciate
No.
an attractive woman. It doesn't just like necessarily have to be famous. But, like,
I-
famous
I
like
have- I've
notches
asked-
up automatically.
I have asked Mrs.
Mrs.
Greenpants about
Greenpants,
this,
yes, Mrs.
and
Greenpants.
she felt that way about not craziness, but like with Paul Simon. She was like really
Not
really
even
into
that
Paul
good
Simon,
looking.
and
Not
like
that good looking a guy.
but no, but she like but it was like in the front, like was in the front row being like
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
and like even though or like but yeah, I don't know,
Nuts.
I don't see
Like Steve Tyler,
I would
man.
never
He gets like tons of
identify.
women. It's like he's one of the most non-attractive men on the planet, right? Like
wait who
Steve Tyler from Aerosmith. Tyler.
oh Steve Tyler yeah absolutely.
No
But
offense,
he's a
Steve,
rock
we
star.
love
so
you.
Who cares?
But, yeah, right.
Yeah.
I think he's a rock star.
Yeah, no, Steve Tyler, that's fine. But yeah, his
We have a friend actually. This is funny. A mutual friend of ours. I won't say his name, but he looks like Kevin Smith. You know, so you know this friend I'm talking about. He has a passing resemblance. I wouldn't say exact, but like passing resemblance. And we were in.
you would say exact?
I would definitely not say exact. A passing resemblance. Is
Yeah,
what I would
exactly.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So enough that you could probably maybe say, "Oh, is that?" and then say, "No, it's not." You know what I mean?
Right.
That kind of thing.
Okay.
So we were in a I don't know if it was a bar or club or something like that, and there was a gaggle of females, and and one of them was looking at our friend and said, oh, I think, and we're chatting and flirting and giggling, laughing and all this stuff. She's like, you look familiar, you're familiar, and I'm like, I'm not supposed to. And I kind of went into shtick and I said, well, I shouldn't say because he gets uncomfortable. She's like, tell me,
Nice.
and I'm like,
Of course.
you seen the movie Clerks? And she's like, oh my god, and then she was all over him. Nothing changed except the potential knowledge that he was Kevin Smith, which he was not.
But did that just keep up? Like, did he go along with it and be like, yes, I'm Kevin Smith?
No, he played it cool. He didn't deny or admit. You know what I mean? He just kind of like,
Oh, okay.
doing his thing. So, but she was like all,
Yeah.
it was, and I'm like, wow, this is actually a phenomenon. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, nuts. Anyway, where were we? Oh, question 4. Get on to question 4, shall we? We got Super J here, by the way. Our one of our greatest fans is here,
Oh, nice.
otherwise known as JT Sands, is present in the house.
Awesome.
We love you, Super J.
Shout out to JT Sands. We love you, Super
Super
J.
J. We love you, Super J.
Super J.
You're
Yeah.
one of our favorite.
Oh yeah,
people.
I can't see the
chat. Oh right,
the,
because you couldn't find your phone.
chat, but yeah, is one of my favorite people. Absolutely.
So, question 4. Okay, here we go. This comes from Christy from Slaughter Beach, Delaware. She asks, my boyfriend is 30, and I am 29, have been dating for 8 months now. Everything is fine other than the fact that he started following half-naked girls on Instagram again, even though we are together. I had this conversation with him before during our first month of dating. It does not make me insecure, but I do find it disrespectful when a guy's in a relationship following these types of accounts. The only reason I found out is because someone close to me sent a screenshot of him following these accounts, which makes this even more embarrassing for me. What should I do? Speak with him about it, or just end things immediately? Asks Christy.
Yikes.
She says she's not insecure. Sounds like you're insecure.
Yeah, Christy, little bit of cognitive dissonance going on because you stated that his actions do not make you insecure, and then you said that you find it disrespectful, and these statements are at exact odds with each other.
Right.
Because if him following random strangers on the internet makes you feel disrespected, that means you have a massive amount of insecurity.
Yes. I have to agree with you.
I think switch the situation around. Okay, so ultimately it's your boyfriend who's in trouble here. So I think you should do the right thing. You have two choices. First, let him know that you are massively insecure and that you are not able to exist in a healthy relationship, and you're really sorry, and break it off amicably. That's option 1. Option 2
go live alone
is
for the rest of your life.
right. Just release him from your clutches.
His servitude.
Because
his bondage.
Servitude.
Release the
Yeah,
bond
exactly. Right. Well, that's
of
what I'm saying.
entrapment.
Exactly. So
Let him
once you've released,
free.
so option 2 is you just ghost him, like end things immediately, fall off the grid, and you'll miss him for a while, but you've done him. It'll be some short-term hurt, but you've saved him a lifetime of pain. And so once you've released your boyfriend hostage, I would suggest that you personally explore the world of mental health. I think once the hostage is released, she should explore the world of mental health, and that there's a lot of great options out there. There are resources available online. So that someone that's so broken that they are paranoid about their boyfriend following a random hot girl on that and would contemplate just completely breaking it off with him. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's good enough to try BetterHelp.
Okay. BetterHelp.
So go to betterhelp.com/okseriously and get $10 off your first session.
I don't have a real coupon.
Okay, seriously.
I don't have a coupon. They are not an official sponsor.
That is BetterHelp / okay, seriously.
Okay, seriously. We'll take you to a 404 error on your web browser.
Absolutely.
All right. I have a different take on this.
Okay. I would hope so, actually.
I would agree that she says she's not insecure, but she actually is, and that is true. And so I kind of am aligned with you from the perspective that she has a problem with this. The thing though, with his behavior though, is there's a difference. So men will do things that men do. It's not. I'm not excusing it. It's just men like sometimes looking at scantily clad women in the nude or whatever, right? You don't need to follow someone on social media to get that. You know what I mean? Like, if you really want to look at naked women, just go watch porn. It's impersonal. It's not an actual person that you can connect with and interact with. You know what I mean? If that's what you're looking for.
But if you're following them, they're just someone that you like. Yeah, I guess I'm not as familiar with the social media because I there is no one, a person that I follow. Like, I follow topics or something on like, you know, Google alerts, but there's no like people I follow on like Twitter or something.
Right. And people that do that are into person. You know what I mean? That's the thing that's kind of a little weird about it.
Yeah, but they're not like having a relationship with that person. That person's just like some random influencer who's probably some attractive girl.
Right. And the dude's probably simping for them, you know, which is even more sad, but that's another.
Right.
That's another
thing. I think about my kids follow tons and tons of people.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if that would actually mean, but I'm thinking like, I mean, I guess I don't know what the, it just seems to me that in this world, like following someone on Instagram, like if that's making you insecure, like that's, you know, you're gonna have to get past that. Because in this world, like that's not an you know, it's like, oh, you're not allowed to follow anybody on Instagram because I find it disrespectful. It'd be like, okay, well then, you know, I find this relationship disrespectful.
Yeah, Super J points out that it's parasocial, right? Which it definitely is. It's like a I guess the thing that my concern is like, if like she's saying, she's, you know, she kind of insinuates in the question that's like, well, it's because these women are half naked. He likes looking at them. I'm like, if all he wanted to do was look at half naked women, there are many other outlets.
Yeah, he could do that. Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Without actually being on social media, following an individual. You know what I mean? So
yeah, with like little to no effort at all.
Right.
With the exact same technology that he obviously already have.
Exactly.
You know, so the same device, he has the ability to do these things. Yeah.
Yeah. So my guess is that he's, because I've seen lots of guys like this. They're basically simps. So they get addicted to a particular person because of, I don't know, they just choose to latch on to somebody.
Sure.
An influencer, you know what I mean? It says whatever she does, you know, they'll just watch her, you know, tease her viewers and all this other stuff just because they love.
So what is simp? Like,
oh, simp. Yeah, I'd say the official definition, because I don't want to leave
like
you
symbiote?
astray.
Like sim?
No, it's I think it came from simple. What is it? A simp slang for? It's a simp is a slang for a person, typically a man, who is desperate for the attention and affection of someone else. So it's kind of like a puppy dog thing, like, you know.
Yeah.
Like
oh yeah, I have heard that before in that context. Yeah, of like, oh yeah, you're such a simp.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
So
that was normally a guy that was like
a. Oh, go ahead.
A guy that was normally like kind of beaten down and stuff. Like, that would be called a simp. Yeah,
exactly. And he's basically being exploited by these influencers, right? Because they send them donation money, or they give them, you know, even viewership count numbers, right? They give them money and all this other stuff,
right?
And these girls just lead them along. So, so it's kind of like almost like a borderline obsessive kind of thing, you know, if you're like kind of attached to a particular kind of influence, something with, you know.
I guess.
Sit in the inflatable pool in their bikini. You know what I mean? It's like, if you really need to look at a naked woman, again, there are other vehicles. It's like...
But like, yeah, I mean, I think but with saying it's parasocial, like, you know, I think is that meant in a completely negative way, like a
Yeah, because to me it's kind of like it's. I mean, the very definition is a one-sided thing, right? So it's like you're looking for some kind of thing, which kind of insinuates you're not getting it in your actual relationship. You know, so what's this thing you're looking for, and why are you unable to communicate that? That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, if it was just the basic, I want to look at naked chicks, that I get, right? Then go look at naked chicks. You know, it's like that's no problem, right? But if it's like, you know, if you have this one-sided thing from this individual, this influencer person, you know what I mean? It's like, what are you looking for that you're not getting?
Yeah.
You know, it's like a.
Yeah, I actually did. I came at this very one-sided. So with the because I think there's the kind of, well, there's the two. I think there's two separate things. There's there's the feeling that it's disrespectful for someone to follow someone on Instagram, and then as a separate issue of your boyfriend's need to follow people on Instagram.
Right.
You know what I mean, and what
Yeah,
that
no, I
means.
I do. For
You
sure.
know, and what that means to your relationship. So,
Sure. Yeah, and Christy, just to be
yeah,
clear,
you know,
like his,
I think it's nuanced.
I suppose, but just to make clear, Christy, like if he has a need to see naked women, that is normal, and if you have a problem
Yes.
with that, that's a you problem, right? So because you're insecure about it, and again, to
Unfortunately.
Green Pants' previous advice, right? But yeah, this whole parasocial thing where he might be simping for these influencers, that might be a reflective issue. So
Influencers are like succubuses. You
They
know?
really
They
are.
just like
Like
feed off the energy. Yeah.
crazy. I wonder a fun thing.
It's
Like,
capitalism.
let's see if here's an experiment, Chrissy. I'm thinking about like recommend to him, says, hey, let's watch porn together. Say to him, you know what I mean, and see how into it he is. And then you really start to get the sense, is it like, oh, is he just like being naked women,
Right.
sex, right?
Yeah, and I think it would say a lot whether or not that's something that Christy would be even interested in doing.
Right.
Because I think that'd be a good idea. But you know, I'm not, if Christy finds Instagram models disrespectful, I'm not sure she's gonna want to watch porn.
Watch rimming and pile
yeah.
driver and
Right. She's not gonna watch
babysitter porn.
chitty gangbang.
Gang
You know, as I
bang.
said, you know,
That mom
Yeah.
comes on to
you know,
young son, kind of
there's a lot.
teaches sister how to, right? You know, the whole thing. Yeah.
We know you're very well versed in this.
I'm well traveled. You know, it's like
That's right. You're well traveled. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. All right.
So there
moving
you go,
on.
Christy. So we hope that helps. Keep that stuff in mind. Honestly confront him about it, right? Say like, what are you getting from these relationships? You know, and I would even, I know I was kind of serious about watching the porn with him, but like bring it up, like watch the influencer with him
Sure.
and see what he's actually watching. You know what I mean? And see like, oh, he's totally simping.
Right.
He's totally simping for this woman, right? Then that's like ding ding ding, right? Like, what are you getting out of it?
Because-
and actually have an honest conversation about like, what are you getting out of this interaction right now? You know?
Right.
So have the conversation.
And there's also the separate issue that her friend, someone like took a snapshot of him doing it just so they could show her. So clearly, like they know that
weird.
it's something that bothers her. So they
Yeah.
were like, "Oh, he's doing it. Oh, I'm gonna click that. Okay." And then and then it really got her, and it was like, yeah, there's a lot there.
And I would say
So-
it's weird. I know we're unpacking this a bit, but it's weird too that he needed to do it so much. He does it in front of, like, in a social group of other people. It's actually there to take a
Right.
picture of him. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
you see it that bad at that point in time. Like, why? Right? It's like,
Yeah.
weird.
I don't know. Best of luck to you.
Best of luck to you, Christy. So
Best of
we'll
luck to you,
find out
Christy.
we're pulling for you. Once you get through
Yeah,
your
yeah.
insecurity issues, we're pulling.
Yeah,
for you.
yeah. Listen, everybody has insecurity issues. It's fine. That's why I'm saying. Like, I'm not. I know I was a bit glib earlier, you might say, but I think that it's important to look after your mental health.
It is, and the mission of improving you never ends. Self work. All right, here we go. Our last question today. Penelope from Baldhead, Maine asks, "My boyfriend goes into VR chat servers and cuddles/kisses other people within VR social groups. He says it's just a game, it helps him sleep. I feel really weird about it because he's doing it when he has a girlfriend. One of the girls he was with in the group messaged him directly and said she has a crush on him and just wants to keep messaging her and says they can be friends. Is this cheating? If it isn't, why do I feel so horrible betrayed?" First off, a quick one on this. There's a girl that says wants to cuddle with him is a dude.
Yeah, because this is a hard left turn from Christy.
It is.
Okay, like, I mean,
It's
she
like
was
on the
losing
same
her mind
highway, but
simply.
then exits off the off ramp to.
Well, yeah, like she was like losing her mind simply because like her boyfriend was following attractive strangers on Instagram, and for Penelope, it sounds like her boyfriend's into like digital polyamory or whatever the hell's going
Right.
on. But this is totally your thing, as we know. So what is happening here? I don't
know if I care for your insinuation.
Okay, what is VR cuddling?
Okay, so
What the hell is
the way
that?
it works is you put on a VR headset.
Oh, so you do know.
I,
Oh, surprise, surprise, fucking surprise.
I may have dabbled.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh, dabbled, you say? Not
Dabbled,
only know, but experienced.
Yes.
Okay.
Perhaps.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
My
Okay.
initial insinuation
I will.
wasn't so
I will
off the mark.
Okay,
Maybe.
I will explain. So you put on VR goggles, and you're in a
Okay.
virtual room / world, and
Okay.
your body you have an avatar. So basically, it takes the location of your goggles and like creates a virtual body for you. It's usually some kind
Right.
of blocky caricature or some animated looking like
Right.
not like
Right. I
a
mean, I've
real
seen the thing on
person.
Meta,
Yeah, it's like that.
but yeah,
you know,
I
it's
mean,
not
I've
like a
seen the
real
thing on
looking-
like on the Quest or whatever that you're like in a
Yeah.
virtual lobby or whatever.
and VR chat in particular is like it's not like it's it's not like it's it's definitely cartoonish, you know what I mean, like the graphic
Yeah.
style, so
I mean, I get that, but what's the
yeah,
cuddling?
so there's other people as well that are also in this virtual world doing the same thing. They were on the
Oh, like in your
goggles and,
social group, you're all in a room.
yeah, and maybe they might be breaking up in a different like interest areas or something, like people are into this, people are into this, fine, and you kind of use the hand things to kind of walk around, and then there are often in these games pre-programmed animations, so you meet somebody, you could talk normally because they have a microphone, so you could chat with someone, and or you could type chat if you're comfortable with that, that's fine, and then if you want to engage in interactions with these people, there's something you can pull up like a context menu, and there's like a list of animations you can do. One could be cuddle, and you hit cuddle, and the other, you get a pop-up that says so and so wants to cuddle with you, do you accept? You say yes, and then your avatars will sort of like hug or something, and then go back to normal, you know what I mean? So you do like a little animation and then go back to not animation. So that's the general way.
And it like so that seems to be so then you get fulfillment out of that, like instead of the actual physical sensation of the cuddling.
Yes.
I suppose if you had the haptic suits and stuff like that, you
That's
could really
coming. I mean, that's going to come at some point, right?
I mean, yeah.
Like, yeah.
right,
I mean,
and then you could actually reasonably do a hug with a haptic suit.
right. I mean,
know.
and teledildonics is going light years in the next, beyond where it's been in the past.
What is that?
Oh, teledildonics, you're not
Tele-
familiar? Yes.
I am not familiar.
Think of a sex toy that has a Wi-Fi connection to it and links up to another sex toy somewhere else that you can manipulate the sex toy from a far distance.
We have come so far.
Right? This is
Wow.
what we've done with our
Yeah.
genius. We've been to the moon.
Well, like I said, like
and we've
my
invented
my last
teledildonics.
experience was the real doll that was 25 years ago, before any of that stuff. And so now hearing about this, I did not realize that the technology had come so far. It's it's kind of like when you have a refrigerator or some appliance that lasts like forever, and then you finally have to get rid of it, and you get the new thing, and the new thing is like so new you have no idea even how to work it. Like all of a sudden your refrigerator's talking to you, and like it's
Tells you when it's
has all
out
this
of milk.
prepared. It's like I don't want like fuck off. I just want a refrigerator. Like I don't
And the dryer
it-
sends you an
it-
email when your laundry's done. That.
right. It needs all this information. I'm like, I don't know. I just want you to freaking spin in a circle and blow hot air on my clothes.
On my
please.
clothes until they're dry.
That is it, at the temperature that I set.
They're right. In the predetermined parameters.
that is all that I require
Yes.
for a time of my choosing.
Yes. So
That is what I require.
yeah. So and those big teledildonics became big when it definitely became bigger during COVID, because like people who couldn't like see each other, you could insert something and then the other person could have like a little program, they could change the intensity, change the depth, do all this stuff, and could have a remote sexual experience.
So the physical product is relatively small. It's
Yes.
not like a whole. It's basically just a
Right.
device of some kind.
Right. I'm sure there are vendors that have incorporated these into, larger.
How does that work for the guy?
Uh,
Is there also a device?
yes, I believe so. It is a
Okay.
sleeve that you insert. Sleeve will provide different sensations based on what the remote operator is specifying on their app. You control with the phone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that means
I've heard.
like. No, dude, that stuff. I'm no kink shaming here. That's fine.
But
Like,
anyway,
I
for
mean,
this specific
no, I'm sorry,
point-
I don't know about dildoonics or whatever the
Teledildonics.
thing is.
But
Dildoonics. It's
so
they
I
have dildo in the name.
I'm sure there is VR that incorporates in that, but this particular app that this person is talking about does not. So you feel there's no haptic sensation or feedback. It's literally You
Right,
watch
right, right,
through
right,
the
right.
goggles, you watch the avatars hug, and that's it. Or you watch them kiss, and then
Right.
a little heart flies over their heads, and that's, you know what I mean? It's like silly little
Yeah.
animations kind of thing. So yes, so in ways it's a game. People often role play
Yeah,
in
and,
there,
like-
like they pretend like, oh, I am Katana 23. I'm a whatever, kind of thing.
Okay, so to get back to Penelope, so I'm wondering, so for like, yeah, if Penelope is not into this at all, let's say Penelope doesn't own a VR headset, like, yeah, this is probably very like I can see, like, I'm wondering, like, is she in the social, does she do VR as well? Like, is she in one of the social groups and she doesn't like his behavior within a social group that they experience together? Or is it just a thing he does completely separate from her that she thinks is weird or doesn't like?
And that's what's weird, because the fact that she knows what he's doing means either she's been in the game at the same time he has, or you can stream what's in your headset to a TV. But then that's something he would have willingly needed to do. He's like, hey, check out what I do in this VR game. You know, and then she would watch and say, what are you doing virtually kissing this person? You know what I mean? If that's
right, because you just had to explain to me what the hell that was, because I would have no idea.
Right.
Like if I was with someone and they had a VR headset, unless they were acting, they were like walking around and being like,
right,
or it was, or whatever, or just or I saw them,
touching themselves,
with a VR headset, sitting on the couch naked with a dildo and a wireless remote and a phone.
Then you could guess what they're doing.
I could draw some conclusions.
As to their activities. Yes.
Informed decisions. I could. Yeah.
All about informed.
But so yeah. I think it kind of depends. I mean, like with Penelope, it's in this situation, I definitely think if Penelope's not okay with it, then this is not the relationship for Penelope. Like, if her boyfriend needs to do it, and she's not okay with it, like that's a boundary that's perfectly reasonable, I think.
I agree. But the thing is, like, she asks if it's cheating.
Or am I wrong?
Like,
is it?
She asks if it's cheating, and again, she wouldn't be able to know what he's doing unless he either explicitly told her or showed her, right? So he seems like he's being forthcoming about it. Is good.
And that's one of those wide definitions of cheating where it's like, that's defined by your relationship, because it's like, physical cheating, emotional cheating, all of the different things. So, but depending on how into it he is, if she's not into it at all, it sounds like maybe, VR guy is not her guy.
Right. If it really bothers you, I would have that talk with him again, open communication.
Yeah.
Say, look, it really bugs me. It seems like you're kind of, even though it's a virtual world, I get it, but you're kind of going on your way to hook up to see if you can, and that's kind of like,
right. And well, the good thing for Penelope is that Bald Head, Maine is an absolute, like,
never been.
It's a superstore for finding like, just young
quality men.
hot men for Penelope. Like, it's you hear about it, like there's about like guys in California or whatever, but Bald Head, Maine, that is where, if you're looking for the next Jason Momoa or The Rock or whoever, you go to Bald Head, Maine.
Could she find a guy
Everyone
like
says that.
Chad from our previous question, who's incredibly attractive to both older and younger women?
Yeah, is Penelope, are you okay with him having a young face and being eminently fuckable? Are you okay with that? Because maybe we could get into maybe we can hook you up with Chad.
Oh my goodness.
Listen, we're here to help. I don't limit that help to only saying things if we can, whatever. Just like we said, we review someone's dating profile. It's, kind of a separate thing.
No dispute. No dispute.
What you need,
I agree.
We are here to provide.
I agree.
Within reasons.
Within reasons. So
within state and local laws.
And federal. So Penelope, I would have the chat with him and just say, look, I get you're I'm concerned about why you're into this. Can you talk me through it? Like, helping me sleep isn't a good enough answer, right? He's either getting some kind of power trip from it, saying, hey, look, I'm getting these virtual chicks, go me. And again, back to my first comment, I don't know if you recall, but most likely dudes who are using a voice changer. That's a thing too.
I absolutely believe that is a thing. Like that. That is the most unsurprising thing. I like. I would say, it's probably like 90% or I don't know, but a extremely high percentage.
Like I think they figured like 75% of all virtual lesbian relationships are two dudes. I think is
right. Well, that's why I think for something like this, I think this is a device that is more or just serves more utility as for existing couples when like they're away from each other or something, like if
Great.
because then you have the headset, you have the stuff, and you know who it is, when you're, you know what I mean, and so that it gives you the opportunity
Sure.
to be intimate together while you're apart
Yes.
in a way
Yes.
that you otherwise wouldn't be.
Agreed.
Like that's cool, but the whole like with strangers thing, like that's weird. I mean,
And
to me,
it's-
where it draws in that element of you really don't know what's going on.
Right. It's a role playing escapism thing, right? That's what it is escapism.
Oh, okay.
So like
Okay,
and
wait.
the-
Oh,
and
then
the-
this wouldn't be for escapism then. Yeah.
And the thing is like, you may say, "Oh, I'm just doing it just to play," right? But like, you're talking to a real person, and say if it is an actual woman, for our cases, start having real dialogue, and you start to
there are cases.
and you start to get to know real things about your real selves, and like, oh, I'm really into this person, right?
Right.
It's like you're having a relationship with another person, essentially, right? And LB can be clearly that's not the kind of relationship she wants. To your earlier point, right? So I would say have a
Yeah.
conversation with him, find out why he's really into it. Propose you guys do it together, maybe. That could be a fun thing. But just say, hey, you kind of getting pseudo intimate, even though it's virtually intimate with these other people, is bugging me, and
Yeah. Yeah.
give him the chance to make that
set a
decision.
boundary, see how it goes.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. Set that boundary. before
Have
you
a
take off.
discussion. Have a
Have
discussion. Start with just
Discussion.
talking.
Yes.
Have a discussion.
Have-
Don't ask like two idiots on the internet.
yes.
Talk. I mean, do that. But also talk to your boyfriend.
Yay, talking.
Yeah. And a huge proponent of communication.
Absolutely.
We all are.
Communication is the key to
Hey,
all
here-
relationships. Anyone tells you otherwise is lying to you.
Yeah, that is absolutely. All right, I think it's time for a speed round. And
is that true? Oh, speed round. There it is. All right, cool.
yeah,
So
and
let's
I
get our
think
timer
you are
going
up
here.
today.
I am. Boy. All right. What do I do? Timer. Mark 1 minute on the timer. There we go. That worked. Okay. So, it's me, right? So, okay. So this is the
Yeah.
speed run segment. For those of you not familiar, we're gonna have 5 rapid fire questions that this week at Screen Pan is gonna be thrown at me and answer them as quickly as possible within the 1 minute allowed. Afterwards, we'll do a little bit of an unpack and kind of see where some of these answers come from. The goal is I'm going to say the first thing that comes to mind.
Right.
So I guess we'll see where it goes, right?
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Are
I
you
think
ready?
I'm ready. Yeah, the timer will start as soon as Screen Pan's done reading the first question.
Yeah.
Start the timer. Okay.
Okay.
I believe I'm ready.
Are you ready?
So,
Okay.
I am ready.
What is the pronunciation error that most annoys you?
Oh my god. Y'all is one of them, but I got to go with Pacifically. That's one of the ones that annoys the shit out of me. Pacifically.
What is the stupidest question you've ever been asked at a job?
It wasn't really a question, but it had to do with picking up a piece of paper. I'll explain more after. I was picking up a piece.
Okay. What's the dumbest choice you've made that you actually don't really regret?
Staying in my previous job for way too long, and I could have been making a lot more money.
What is a movie quote that you follow as a motto in real life?
A movie quote. I'll go with fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering. Jedi
Alright.
Master Yoda.
What's one thing that you love to do as a kid that you would never do now, that you never want to do anymore?
Wet the bed.
But no, that you loved doing as a kid. Did you love wetting the bed?
My answer stands.
Wow. Okay. That is correct. That was a stumper. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, so
Can we unpack that one first?
Oh, you want to do that one first? Okay, that's fine. So yeah,
Yeah.
I wet the bed way later than I should have. Like, not like into my teens, but like I was
Good to have.
5,
Okay.
6, 7, 8. You know what I mean? Like way before I should have been. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I definitely should have been like going to the bathroom by then. I did it for attention.
Yeah.
So I did it for
Oh.
attention. Yeah, because my father got remarried and felt like I wasn't getting the attention anymore. I need to have a problem so I get attention again.
Oh wow, that's
Oh.
fascinating. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, see, I would have said something more like from the physical domain. Like I would never want to do like a kick turn or an ollie on a skateboard. Like
I see,
if
I see. Because the
if,
potential
like
for injury.
right now, if I even look at a half pipe, like I think I could easily break all 31 segments of my back, like of my spinal cord. Like,
just like a
looking
zipper
at it.
right at the top.
Yeah, just straight on down. The cervical ones all the way down through the lumbar, out
You
and
through
just
L
straight out the
through.
coccyx. I am
Right out.
destroyed. Yeah, yeah.
You're just like
Just
jelly.
literally, I would just, yeah, I would be confined to a bed always, and I would only be able to speak using breathing noises through a straw that were translated into sound. Yeah, Stephen Hawking kind of. So, but yeah, so
Yes,
I would not.
I do have that imagery.
I would
now.
not want to do that anymore, and because the arthritis that I have now from doing those things when I was a child, not loving it. So
Got it.
definitely wouldn't do it now because it would just really make the arthritis worse. All
Got
right,
it.
so to review,
whereas I wish to no longer have pee in my bed.
right,
in my
which
bed
would,
sheets, right.
which but I think what was throwing me off is that you were doing on purpose, which
Right.
makes sense now.
Right. I mean, I didn't think
okay,
so at the
so that
time.
definitely
You know what I
gets in,
mean?
yeah.
It was something I figured out later. in
Right.
life That,
Yeah. But it's like subliminally kind of
yeah.
So the pronunciation, which word? What did you say?
Specifically, like as in the
Oh,
ocean,
yeah.
versus specifically.
Oh,
A lot of people say
Like,
specifically. I want to get
I specifically like that.
exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
okay, yeah, I guess for me it's supposedly.
Like that's not even close. Specifically. Supposedly.
No, supposedly.
Supposedly. Oh yeah, totally. Oh, and
Supposedly.
Super J points out nuclear.
Right.
Nuclear.
It's
nuclear.
yeah, it's nuclear.
right, not nuclear.
Yeah, it's you can't say that there's no you. Yeah.
Exactly.
If it's a phrase like I could care less, that drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Because it's I couldn't care less.
Right.
Because if you could care less, then it doesn't really mean less. It makes the statement meaningless.
Exactly.
So
And there's one used up. We're in New England, and the so don't I, like you'll say, hey, I love those Harry Potter novels. Oh, so don't I. Oh, so you don't like them? No, I do. But you just said you don't. You know?
Right. Oh, that's what I haven't heard. Like my company has an office in it's the word French word is papillon, or for
Papillon.
butterfly. But it looks like, if you just speak it out English, it's papillion.
Oh,
And so it's called the Papillion office, and it drives me crazy because everyone there calls it Papillion,
right.
and they just have this
Papillon.
name of their city is called Butterfly, and then none of them know it,
Right.
and it's just called Papillion. And
Oh my god.
every person to a person that I've talked to at work who I've mentioned this and been like, yeah, isn't that weird? Like it's butterfly. Not one of them has known that.
Wow.
Has been like, really? That means butterfly? Well, I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah. Really?
Nice.
Butterfly? Is that in one of them romance languages? Yes. It's one
Yes,
of the
it
romance
actually
languages.
is. Yeah.
It is. It's French. It's French.
It's
Yes, it
French.
is. It
Otherwise
is.
known as French. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
sorry. I'm sorry, Lois. Going back to what you were saying.
Yes.
So
The specially is
Um,
another one, right? Like people say
Yeah.
for especially, they say specially. Another one.
yeah, that I could
Probably,
go on forever.
probably, right? Like, is that true? Probably. What did you say?
Well, but then-
Probably.
But you can also do it for. You can also do a breves for comic effect. So there's a lot of things
True.
that are breves.
Oh, Super J
such
points out
as,
espresso, which is a good one. Espresso with an X in it that doesn't have.
Oh yeah. It's espresso.
Right.
But with the things like totes, like
Oh yeah.
oh, I totes want to do that,
But
or
that's
FOMO.
that's for humor value. You know what I mean? Like I'm okay with that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying if it's for comedic effect.
Right. And if I'm
I
mocking,
think
if I'm
that,
mocking
you know.
someone from the South, I'll say, "Oh, y'all." You know what I mean? Like I'll.
Right.
Something like that.
Like my sister says y'all non-ironically or anything. I mean, she lives
He
in
means to say
Georgia
y'all,
and
right.
she says y'all. I mean, that's literally how she talks all the time. So.
Right.
So what was the stupidest question you ever been asked at a job? What it was about?
Oh yeah,
paper.
piece of paper. So I walk into the hiring manager's office and there's a crumpled up piece of paper on the floor in between where I'm walking and the chair, the visitor chair that you're supposed to sit in. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
looked at it and I said, and I saw there was a trash can next to the chair, you know. So I said, "Oh, looks like you missed a 3-pointer. Party hard, right?"
Oh, okay.
And then he's
Right,
like,
right.
"Oh, yeah, you can just throw it out of the way." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I threw it away. That was part of the interview test. So he crumples up the piece of paper deliberately and lays it there and sees how people react to it.
And he's expecting like he didn't like your hearty hard. Was that the problem?
No, I got the job.
Oh, you got the.
I did the right thing. He says most people he told me that people often kick the paper under the desk because they don't want to like seem awkward or something like that, or ignore it. You know what I mean, or don't even acknowledge it. And that's failing the test.
I would just pick it up.
That's what I did. I picked
I would
it up
pick-
and I made
yeah.
a comment and I threw it away. And he thought that was the perfect response that I did. And I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So that was the stupidest
Sure.
question.
For me, it was definitely someone trying to ask me how to remove. Ironically, well, not ironically, but just coincidentally, mine is also paper related because it is how do I remove paper from this LaserJet ink cartridge? That is the question. And if you're saying to yourself,
Did they legit have
wait a
the
minute,
paper stuck in
you
the...
can't. No.
Oh.
No, I'm saying like
Oh,
someone hands
hypothetically.
you a LaserJet. No. Hands you a LaserJet cartridge and it says paper stuck in here.
Oh.
Your answer is the fuck, because that is just it's just the ink cartridge.
Right.
So
Oh,
when
I
I
see.
was a manager at a Mac lab, I had a person who went to print something. It was out of paper. They didn't know it, but it was something that they didn't want anyone else to see. So they became they were convinced that it was somehow like it had like looped through or whatever.
Okay.
And so they had taken the printer basically apart, and the last place they looked was like they're like, oh, it was the ink
It's gotta be
cartridge.
in the ink cartridge.
So they took out the ink cartridge and they're like, my poem or whatever the fuck is
It's
in here
in
somewhere.
here.
Yeah, which they then proceeded to basically guarantees you absolutely ruined clothing. Yeah, you end up basically looking like you got into a fight at an ink factory.
Because the powder goes
And-
everywhere as soon as you start shaking that thing around.
Yeah. It's just you're yeah. So picture that and the person coming into and asking me that question. That was definitely that'd be the dumb one.
God.
What's the dumbest choice that you made that you don't actually regret?
Oh, my job. I said that I stayed in my job way too
Oh,
long.
right.
But I don't regret it
Yeah.
because I wouldn't have been able to get to where I am unless I went through all that.
Right.
Straightforward answer that I
Yeah.
wouldn't have had the level of growth and maturity, all this other shit, unless I did it. I could have made a lot more
Right.
money if I kept having jobs, but
For me, it's probably drinking my own body volume in vodka.
that's you
Because-
but you do not regret that. I think you would.
It was a really dumb thing to do, but if you're going to be an alcoholic, fucking go for it, man.
I see.
You know?
So
And I wouldn't do it now, but
that's
it
good
was
to
something that was there are several things that I did that I could not physically nor legally do now that I do not regret, but
Mhm.
that were probably really, really, really dumb.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. There. That's gonna be one of the. I'm trying to think of the dumbest. That was probably. I call it dumbest because it was the most life impactful one. Mine. You know what I mean? Like.
right. Or like, okay, another good answer: cocaine. Dumb, but don't regret doing it.
Because the experience to say, hey, you did it and find out what it's all about.
Exactly.
Were you in Florida at the time when you had the cocaine?
No, it was right here in Massachusetts. Good old Bostonian cocaine,
I didn't think
as they
had
say.
I didn't think they had cocaine in Mesh.
They absolutely have cocaine in Massachusetts. But you haven't heard Worcester China White, Mother of Pearl,
Worcester.
you know? Yeah, man. Get your uncut cocaine. You go to Worcester and you get there
Where
Lancaster.
you go to the street where
Or,
the Hep B has not been controlled. Is that the place where you get the cocaine?
Judgy. But yes, that is the place that you go and you get the cocaine. That is the place.
It's judgy
Yes.
if you're right. Okay.
It came across a little judgy is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, but yeah.
I get you. Sure.
Um,
Nice.
What is the movie quote So the movie quote you had was Yoda.
Yeah, Yoda. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to suffering. Or anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. What it is. And I definitely take that one to heart.
Yeah, I
because
guess
I do not, and this actually infuriates my wife. I do not get angry. Anger is no longer a part of my life.
Really?
Yeah, I get
like ever.
I'll get irritated or annoyed, but I'm never angry. Like before I get to that point, like if I start to get irritated about something, I do an analysis of it and I say, why is this getting to me so much? And usually it's an answer that's a problem with my reaction or the way I feel about something. And I'm like, oh, no reason to be angry. And done.
That is a great attitude to have, because like I have that
Took me a
for
lifetime to
like
get
holding
there.
resentments.
Yeah.
Like I like I'm not able to do that. That like I don't get angry. Like I definitely get angry, but the going through all of like the 12 steps and all that kind of stuff, you learn to like let go of all the resentments. So you don't hold on to resentments, which is if you one of the things that you get into the practice of doing
that's perpetual
is like,
anger, resentments, right? That's like the worst kind.
right. So what you do at the end of the day, or some people do this, but it's like you think about through all the things of the day and like any sort of like, oh, who wronged you, whatever, and then you do that exactly what you just said. Like you analyze it,
right,
and you think back like, okay, that person probably didn't mean it, or like whatever it is. And if you do that consistently, you don't have long building up. That means you're someone that like talks with your partner about like if they're annoying you, it doesn't like build up so that you just explode one day.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
yeah.
And that was it. And I was like in my 20s, early 30s, I was that would happen to me. I'd get like infuriated about something like so innocuous or random, you know what I mean? And I'd be like,
right,
why am I getting like this? You know? So I would so I started to work on it, and then eventually got to the point where
I mean, some things it's hard to because I cannot say that I'm not able to get angry. I mean, the fact that my mom has a gigolo is plenty of reasons to be angry. And that birthday cards now come love Mother and Scott.
Oh, he signs
and then Scott signs it.
But is it him signing it, or is your mother signing it for him?
He signs it. No, he's signing it. She's like, Scott, you got to sign this card.
That's almost worse.
My mom's nearly 80.
Yeah.
This guy is my sister's age. And like he's just finished paying off his alimony because my mom has been supporting him now for 5 years.
Sweet Jesus.
Yeah. But so the movie quote for me would be something
hit me.
I guess I was thinking something shorter, like I have had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane. Like that's I think of that as a motto.
Yeah. In what way? Like work the metaphor. Like how are you?
I think the reason I think that is actually, now that I think about it, this is the reason, is because it was something that Samuel L. Jackson said on that set,
right.
And they had to film it several times, and for the PG-13 version, it was, I've had it with these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday through Friday plane. And Samuel L. Jackson made them write that so it would be funny.
Wow. That's
or even
awesome.
like the PG-13. So when I think snakes on the plane,
awesome.
Maybe something like for my kids to be like, you can't handle the truth.
Right.
I think
you can't handle the
there's
truth in your Jack Nicholson.
But that statement, yeah, I can see, or like, yippee ki-yay, motherfucker.
Yeah. That's
a good one.
That's a great one. I thought about that one. But, no, that's a good one too. Like you can handle it. Yeah. I deserve the truth.
Well, I want to say that to my kids. Well, I want to say that to my kids like all the time with some of the shit going on or whatever. It's just like you don't want to. It's not great.
You literally don't want to know, right? You think you want to know, but you don't.
Right.
Right.
And in reality, they don't really want to know. They want to watch whatever they want to watch their anime and Minecraft and people watching Minecraft and people reacting to Minecraft and people doing cartoons about Minecraft and reacting to the reactions of the reactions
of the reactions of Minecraft. Yeah.
Nate said to me today, he was just like, "Oh yeah, this guy. I watch him because I like his reactions to reactions." Mm-hmm. Like, wow, this is like Inception level. Like,
right.
We're going layers.
Right. So we're going deep. So you're not even not playing Minecraft. You're watching someone play Minecraft. You're watching someone play Minecraft.
Right, because you like that guy's comedy of the way that he makes fun of the guy who is reacting to something that someone else is doing.
Oh my god.
Like, I'm like, they're like 3 screens in, and so because you have to have the screen with the guy with the mic, with the thing, with the green,
Right.
this guy with the mic, so it just goes on
Right.
to like infinity. Yeah,
Wow.
I
Wow.
uh,
It's like the wow, players, they go deep.
Oh,
It's and like I got the like with the whole 2 girls 1 cup like reactions to that I got, because I don't actually want to see 2 girls 1 cup, but I do enjoy like grandma watching it and her reactions.
yes. Oh, of
That
course.
was entertaining.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I said to one of the things that Nate brought home was some pamphlet on critical thinking, and I said, "Oh, so good! I'm glad you're learning critical thinking in Mr. Maloney's class." And Nate looks at me and he's like, "Never heard of it." I was like,
It's
"No,
literally in the
thinking
paper.
critically or whatever." And I was like, not. It's like when you are presented with something, you look for other sources to make to back things up with evidence, so you have multiple points of view. And he was just like, "Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about."
Oh my god.
Wow, yeah, so that's soaking in. That must be definitely end of the day stuff, because it's like,
Wow.
what are you talking about?
Wow.
So that's something I really like. The stuff that they see online, I have to constantly be like, this is not real, and it gets worse and worse with these deep fakes and some of this stuff where it's like, no, that is not a thing. Like, it seems like it's not a thing.
Not
Especially the AI computer generated images, where you
crazy.
can basically create whatever the hell you want.
Have you seen,
Like, so many
by
times
the
they'll show
way,
me stuff.
I need to send you a link. Billy Joel released a new song. The song is excellent, but the video is amazing. I really recommend you see it. I know you're not necessarily a big Billy Joel fan.
No, but this is real, just because we were talking specifically about like deep fakes.
Yeah.
So
Turn the lights back on.
that's why
That's the song. Turn the lights back on.
okay, but it's an actual Billy Joel song. Okay.
It's an actual Billy Joel song they wrote, and
Yeah,
it's a video of him, like it's him as he is now, but then it fades to him from the 70s. You know what I mean? And it's him singing the song,
cool.
the same song, going through it. It looks like him, and then like from the Stormfront era, and then from like the 80s era. You know what I mean? So it kind of jumps around. It's kind of like,
Oh, so they're using the morph. They're
yeah,
using
it's like
some
a
of that
retrospection of like
aging
his
ginger.
career. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. But it's so well done. It's so good.
Yeah, that
Oh
sounds
my
cool.
god, I love it. So anyone who hasn't seen it,
Oh my god, I love it.
oh my god,
You
I
just-
can't
You just
even.
clapped your.
Hell
no,
yo.
you just clapped your.
How
No, but no,
wonderful
I'm not
is it?
saying that. No, don't. I'm not stereotyping. I was the fact that you
I'm so-
clapped your hands in joy, I found adorable.
I'm surprised I
That
didn't get the. There we go.
Right, that's
Wow.
true. It's because soundboard like right here, like easily. I would, but yeah, to do that,
Oh, I get a doc. Thank you for the document.
it's too much work. Or I could, I guess, congratulations.
That's great.
There you go. That's for you.
Awesome.
If you were looking for validation,
Oh my god.
I want you to have it via that,
Yes.
via those mouse clicks. All right.
Nice.
I think we're
Yeah, I think we did it. We kind of went on we trailed
yeah.
on for a bit there, but I think we covered some good stuff today. So I think it's definitely time to sign off. So everyone out there, come catch us every Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern U.S. time, right here. Okay, seriously, where you ask the questions, we give the answers. Sundays is game day, so 9 p.m. Eastern on Sundays. Come check us out. Me and the who I call the co-op crew will be playing a bunch of silly games and probably doing them horribly and dying horribly. So that's entertaining to watch as well.
awesome.
So good times.
And I watched a little bit of that this past Sunday.
I
So,
know.
yeah,
Yes, we died by the way. We didn't. We actually did not succeed in the mission.
Did you all die? Okay.
We did. We died. Yeah, we died. So you came on and said, "Are you guys gonna die?" And I said, "Yes." And then that's what happened. We all died.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you were figuring out how you were going to die,
Right.
and then what you were
Right.
going to die with on you,
Yeah.
and then
We were
ultimately died.
strategizing poorly. We approached it with the wrong perspective. So we need to adjust our approach, which we're gonna do next time. We have a new plan. But in any case, we'll see you then. Green Pens, thank you again for joining us. Always a
Thank-
pleasure. Everyone who's
Thank
watching
you. Thanks for
today,
having me.
Super J, always appreciate you stopping by. We always love to see you.
always.
Good times.
This is. Yeah, I love this. I
Yes.
love us for you. I think.
Loving us for you.
No, what? No, this.
Yeah.
Don't make it weird.
I made it
Making
weird.
it weird.
Love
You
your,
made it
love your
weird,
friends so
stop.
much you make it weird.
Vanguard, no problem making it weird.
That's right.
Awesome.
All right, gang. Signing off. Until next time.